Arsonists have set fire to 2 properties, including a farm in Eshowe in KwaZulu-Natal. Police say the blaze has since been extinguished. The National Police Commissioner is now calling for calm in the area. That's after protests erupted over a fatal shooting last night. Police Commissioner spokesperson Vish Naidu joins us on the line now. Good afternoon to you, Vish. What is the situation like as we speak?
A very good afternoon, Joanne, and thank you for this opportunity. Well, the situation, as you quite rightfully said, it's tense, but it's stable at the moment. As soon as we found out about this incident, the National Commissioner directed that there be a mobilization of more security force personnel from the SAPS. We've mobilized members from the tactical response team as well as public order police to augment and complement the local policing force there in the area. So the area has been stabilized, but in the meantime, we've also, through the Provincial Commissioner, engaged with the local leadership, community leaders, religious leaders, just to ask them, to pacify the community, to ask them just to be calm and to be tolerant, to just allow for the legal processes to take place, because the man who is alleged to have shot the community member has been arrested. He's currently in police custody, facing a charge of murder. So the communities must just allow for the court processes to take place.
So let's start off with this shooting yesterday. If you will take us back to what happened on the farm yesterday afternoon, or how you understand it to have unfolded at this stage, Vish.
Well, initially what had happened, a farm employee noticed 2 young men in their 30s fishing in a dam on the farm, and requested the men to leave because they were on private property and they were not allowed to be fishing in that particular dam. And when those men apparently refused to leave, he then called the security guard. As the security guard approached them, one of them got up and fled, while the second guy got into an altercation with the security guard, which resulted in the security guard allegedly producing his firearm and shooting the 30-year-old man, killing him almost instantly. And I think as a result of that, the community then were up in arms. They started off by going on a rampage. They blockaded roads, burnt tires on the R66 road, and then followed by the burning of a farmhouse, as well as the neighboring sugarcane plantation, causing extensive damage. So this is basically what transpired there, and this is how things had unfolded.
Vish, you've spoken to us about the arrest of this young man. Any details of when the suspect will actually appear in court?
Well, he's been arrested today, so he's expected to appear within the next 36 hours. So hopefully by tomorrow afternoon or even Monday morning, the suspect will be taken to the local magistrate's court on the first appearance.
I see you've got another leg of the investigation as well here, which deals with an investigation task team that's looking into the burning of the farmhouse and farms in that surrounding area.
Yeah, well, the National Commissioner says that, while he's calling for the community to remain calm and to be tolerant, there's still further crimes that were committed in that the farmhouse was burnt. It's a case of arson, malicious damage to property in terms of the plantations that were burned down, and people have to be called to account for that. So he's requested that a team be set up to investigate these cases, the suspects possibly identified and prosecuted for having done that, because this is not something that we can tolerate. If we just let it go, which we of course cannot do, then we'd find people resorting to anarchist behavior whenever something happens.
All right, thank you for talking to us, National Police Commissioner spokesperson Vish Naidu. So let's take you live now to one of those farms in Eshowe. ENCA's Desan Tatia is standing by with more at this hour. We looked at the pictures you sent us. It looked simply chaotic earlier. Has the situation been brought under control?
Joe, I think in stark contrast, the area that I'm in now is just eerily quiet. In fact, while I'm talking to you, I see that a storm is coming and it's starting to rain. So before it does that, I just want to show you exactly what I see around me. This is one of the buildings, Joe, you'll see here that was set alight during that protest that Vish was talking about. And in fact, there are about 2 or 3 buildings on the same property. I actually want to try and get you inside this, what appears to look like the main farmhouse. And some of the items are still scattered outside. We saw parts of the roof collapsing earlier on. I'm trying not to get too close because a few beams did collapse earlier. But you'll see inside it's a complete shambles. The entire home is wrecked. And all of this really, Joe, it seems like just a case of misinformation, because initially the community, from what we understand, thought that the farmer that lived here had actually shot a young boy. Some were saying that they thought that he was about 16 or so. But it turns out that the man that was actually shot was 30 years old, like we've now learned, and he was fishing on the property. But it's complete ruins, Joanne. Let me take you outside again to another part of the property over here. You'll see further down towards this building over here is where some of the equipment was stored. You'll see some of the broken windows. You'll see some of the equipment just lying outside there. And the plantations that were set alight are actually to my right, over there, over that hill on the side. And it just seems like for now things are quiet. It's probably because darkness is about to fall, but tomorrow is another day, and we really do hope that that added police presence here will ensure that there's calm.
Listen, do you know if there were existing tensions between the farm owners and their workers, or whether this incident was merely triggered by this shooting yesterday?
It seems at this point, Joe, and I must say this, that we haven't had the opportunity to speak to any of those protesters that were involved in that incident earlier on today. But it seems like it really was triggered by that shooting. And like I said, it just seems like the wrong information was disseminated, and in the heat of the moment, the community reacted and then set fire to these properties, to that plantation, to this house. And one wonders now what happens to the workers that were working on this farm as well, and where they are. Like I said, it is very quiet around here. If you just look around, the only sounds that you hear are pieces of the house collapsing behind us. But it'll be interesting to see what they have to say. I'm hoping that I can get one or two of those community members a bit later on today, failing which I'll try and look for them early in the morning as well, just to get an idea of what the relationship was like between farm owners here and workers and the community.
You hear the rather ominous sounds of a storm gathering in the background there as well. Des and Tatia, thank you for taking us on that walkabout to give us a real sense of what it feels like to be in that building following its torching.